Put me up in that algorithm and holla at your girl.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's star time.
Friday, July 2nd, and we're talking about Trinidad.
Oh,
Yes.
what?
Yes, girl.
That's unique.
Ladies and
unique.
gentlemen,
That's unique. That's unique. Yes. No, wait.
Queens is in the building, y'all.
Yo, Moochie, can I get that theory, please? Let me get that theory. You know what I mean? I need that theory right now. I don't need it tomorrow. I don't need it Wednesday. I don't need it Friday. I need that theory right now.
You know, black girls don't really have to do stuff like that. What we gotta do is take naps and moisturize. And we pretty much good to go.
Right.
What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? You rocking with Moochie, and this is Moochilla's Reviews. So hit that hammer because you came through. You know, we talking about BMF tonight. This is the episode. This is the second episode of the 4th season, and the episode was called Discovery. So you know, when they talk about discovery, that's usually the start of a case. So like, is the case getting ready to rev up where Meech and Terry got something to worry about? It's like you already see things is getting ready to get put together. So I want to know what y'all think. I want to know what y'all thoughts are. Tonight's poll question is, let me put this up. Tonight's poll question is, this is tonight's poll question. Can Terry trust B. Mickey? All right, so just scroll up to the top and cast your vote. All right, let me see who's in here so far. Look, if it's not enough people, I don't even think I put it up in the thing. I don't even think I put it up in the Discord because I was doing so much today. So I'm about to just like put up a little announcement and let everybody know I'm on, so we could talk about BMF. What did y'all? I like this episode because I see how things is getting put together. However, Lucille pissed me off this episode. She was really annoying, and I wasn't mad at Nicole, but we're gonna get into it. I am Moochie, and this is Moochilla's Reviews. So come on in. And let's talk about BMF. All right, I am Moochie, and this is Moochilla's Reviews. Put me up in that algorithm and holla at your girl. All right, now this episode, we're still getting some of those flashbacks. The flashbacks with what caused this separation between Terry and Meech. So we're still getting like little bits and pieces of this flashback that's going on with them two. And it's kind of like, it's making me think that he must have really changed for them to make this separation personality wise. What? I don't know. Is it an ego thing or what? So yeah, so it's like we're gonna see this, and we already know. It seemed like everybody that Meech hook up with seemed like they always have a problem with Terry. And when this whole thing was going on, where he took whatever out of this animal. It looked like he took the heart. I wanted to know what he was trying to tell Meech to do with that. What was y'all thoughts on this? Hey, Tamarcus. What's up, Stephen Harris? Hey, Niecy. What's up, Flex? So yeah, I want to know what's going on with that. Because that looked sort of demonic. I mean, is it me or am I like thinking too much into it? But it did look it looked demonic. I wasn't feeling like I'm like, well, how we get here? And did this really happen? Those are the questions that I'm asking myself in regards to this, you know? So it's just making me say that. I would rather them dedicate an entire episode to Mexico as opposed to dragging it out this way. I thought that that's what they were going to do, but I felt like maybe they didn't want to because they wanted to include like the whole cast. Because, you know, life is still going on while all of this was happening with Terry and Meech. So maybe they doing it that way. You know? But this is kind of crazy to me. Loco said they were taking organs from the animal to feed it to the coyotes for the long walk. So they had, okay. I know he said that because all I heard was Terry complaining the whole time. He was pissing me off. You know, he can be difficult from time to time. Moving on. Now, when they go back to the D, Sterling's telling him stay focused, which makes sense because everybody when Terry walked in this spot, the first thing they was talking about Lamar is back. You heard the whispering going on with all of that, so he feeling a kind of way, but he not even looking for Lamar at this moment. You know who he looking for? B. Mickey. Because, you know, B. Mickey basically put him, we don't know if he's down yet. Of course not. But, you know, he hit him with some hot ones and he was on his way. Okay? He got hit with some hot ones, Lamar, and then he was on his way. So he's telling him to stay focused on the business, not the beef. And that Sterl take care of the beef. You're supposed to stay focused on the business. Terry sometimes always want to act like he gangster, and this is what he was trying to do last week when he was pushing up on Jay Pusher, and it's like you causing unnecessary problems that we don't even need right now. So yeah, that's exactly what he needs to do. He needs to stay focused on the business and not the beef. Your man Sterl, he's the soldier. All right, Moochie, I might be wrong, but Markeisha should tell Terry that he doesn't need his brother. She shouldn't be telling him that, but every time they get together, you know, she get in his ear whispering. She can, you better than your brother. You don't need him. You're smarter. But that's because she trying to ease her way in the business, okay? Hey, Candy. So, yeah, Terry and Meech need to check Alva's house for Lamar. Exactly. Why you not doing that? You know he was hiding out with this dude before. They need to check the doggone what, the funeral home or the morgue or wherever he worked, because you know he worked with them doggone bodies. Sure. So that's what they need to be checking. Now Duffy tells Meech how he held it down. Now through all of this time that Meech was in Mexico, it was still product coming in and nobody missed a beat. But you hear it is Terry complaining. But the money's still coming in. Everybody's getting what they supposed to get and it's moving like a welly-cocked machine. But I feel like Terry feels like because he's not in charge, yes, I had to bring him up, it's not moving right. And I think they having this control issue between the two brothers. I like the way Duffy, talked to him, and it seemed like everybody has a good rapport with Meech, but Terry's the problem. I mean, that's how it looks on here. Hey, Samara, how you been? Okay, moving on. Now he is working at the plant, so I'm gonna get to that later. He gonna be working with the father now. So Brian is not. We gonna call him Brian when he's with his family, but when he out in the street, he beat Mickey. He's still being Brian now. And she like, this ain't making it. This kid is sick. We got bills coming in, and we need to pay these bills. And the baby need her medicine. And he know he want to get. This is the reason why he wants to get back on. But it's just like you went all the way around in this big old circle, and you had. It just bothers me the way he just is like, yeah, I'll just make another family and have another life. He think he could start all over with a clean slate, but yo, you did your man's dirty, and they don't want to mess with you. We gonna miss Detective Veronica this season. Yeah, I know I'm Miss Chin. Detective Jen, yeah. Oh. Meet your bird, cause he gonna tell his mom, look, we gonna get to that. I'm gonna put a star in this because we have to get to that one. Don't put your track shoes on tonight. It's only me in the building, okay? Moving on. But it's just I got a problem with him trying to come back like it's all good. You know why they not messing with you. You know what you did. You know why they not messing with you. And if y'all have not scrolled to the top, please scroll to the top and cast your vote. Ken Terry. Trust be Mickey. Okay? Now, is Detective Brian a cop now in Atlanta? Or is he just going rogue? Because remember, he got suspended up there. I think he got fired. I don't know for sure, but that whole issue that happened with Kevin and the Pow Pow, I don't think he's working in Detroit anymore. So he done followed Meech down here to Atlanta because they know they down here. And he's doing his reconnaissance right now. He not making no waves yet. He done linked up with one of the kids' fathers. The little boy that got taken out in Teakwood. But his father's trying to act like he's Honest Abe. He was running with these hustlers, even though they was giving back to the community. Okay? This episode is about to be crazy. I know. Nicole going off on Lucille. Meech stay getting blamed for everything. Detective Brian is not going to stop until they all in cuffs. You damn right. He not going to stop it. He going to be a pain in the butt. But I did laugh at the part when Detective Brian got beat up and he was curled up in a ball because the whole you getting beat up by the police thing. And Kang was going crazy on him. He was just going in. Yeah, Milton, that was his name. But he's getting close to him so that way he has a reason to. I think they're bonding here because they kind of going through the same thing. They both lost their sons. Moving on. So we see Lucille. Lucille's in the church. She preaching and singing. And now we done seen Brian come back to the church and ask them for help for his daughter because he's not getting enough shifts at work. You know, he's not getting enough hours at work to make ends meet, to pay for the medicine and take care of, their normal living expenses. So he has asked the church for help, and Lucille's going to try to help him. Yeah, we're going to do the recap tomorrow with the ladies. Of course we are. But I had to get mine off by myself where I'm not interrupted. And, I just wanted to spend some time with y'all. I'm in here tonight. It's raining, and it is what it is. Moving on. Do y'all think I like Charles like the fact that B. Mickey is making an honest living, but he also sees he's falling on hard times too. So I don't know. I don't think he's gonna be with Charles, but I think he's gonna try to go through. He gonna be working with Charles at the plant. That's right. That's what he's doing. He's going through what Charles is going through, working at that plant, not getting enough hours, not able to make ends meet, and he gonna have to get another job too. Okay, you can't say that B. Mickey didn't try to be straight. This is true. He came at but I want to get to that conversation that him and Terry had. But I want to, I'm just basically going through scene for scene. Let me get there, boo. What did y'all think of her, Lakeisha, asking to get put on? And she wants everything to stay strictly business. So she wants basically to have her own money. I feel like how you trust Boom this much, where you gonna get him involved, and you're gonna be going back and forth to that prison. So he gonna be asking you all sorts of questions because he is nosy. And he got his eyes, he got his people on the street that's gonna have eyes on you. What the heck is you doing, Marquisha? You bugging out. You wilding right now. Meanwhile, in Atlanta, the Red Dogs is talking to Detective Bryant, and King is being a real jerk. Like, y'all going after the same thing. Y'all need to be linking together and swapping intel so y'all could get the get Meech and lock him down. But no, y'all want to have a peen measuring contest. Okay? But he comes around though. He comes around. Look, the windows is fogged up. They talking about are they gonna stay with each other because they going away to college. He said, whenever you ready, we do it. She said, I'm ready right now. So they done do it and the doggone cops come. We thinking she just gonna get a ticket maybe and be on her way, but no. But no. The vehicle is stolen. The car that Meech gave her is stolen. So not only did you steal her moment for when she graduated from high school to tell everybody she got a free scholarship, you done got her where she got a record now too for having her being arrested for being in a stolen car. You a bonehead, Meech. You mean to tell me all this money you making, you couldn't buy this car legit? It's places you could go where you could have paid cash for this car. Why would you give her the cars that you use for work? This pissed me off right here. I'm like, yo, what is you doing? Look, okay, I gotta show this.
When will it be back on? I was really counting on that money.
Sorry, Chaz. Just all dependent on his recovery.
Okay. Let him know I'm praying for him. Thanks for the call.
Sure thing.
So how you gonna pay child support and keep us out of the red now?
Woman.
You mean to tell me he didn't even hang up the phone good? You don't even know if dude was still on the phone. The way you attacked him? She was like, you on bed. I was like, what the heck? He didn't even hang up the phone good before she started. I'm just like, my goodness. But you talking about child support and Nicole is going to college. You talking about child support and Meech and Terry is grown. What child? What child? Why you riding Charles like this? I just don't understand. He must be already behind. But she's with it though. I'm just saying, like, what is all of that about? Okay. I'm like, why? Yes, she did have a holier than thou this whole episode. What's up, OG Purple Johnson? Yeah, she was wet to me. This episode, she was out of control. I think she just mad because the doctor. She thought things was gonna be different because she was gonna get with that doctor. However, it didn't go as she thought it was gonna go. All right.
Yeah. Money. Yeah.
All right, girls, get up. Y'all know what that means. There's money upstairs. Come on.
All right. Thank you for the super chat. And you couldn't even get a graduation cake without Charles' help. Exactly. And she got this at her. He didn't even hang up that phone good. And shit was all right. He didn't know that this dude was gonna need vocal cord surgery where you jumping in his tail like this. This is something that happened. He thinking they getting ready to go back on tour and start. He didn't even put the phone down. You telling him already, oh, what about this money and what about that money? Like, see, that would make, I don't know, that if I was a man, that'll make me want to walk out and go get some air because I don't need you breathing down my neck with all of this nonsense right now. I'm already trying to figure out how I'm going to make it happen when he telling me that the thing is being canceled. Come on. You know, lost your mind, Lucille. Lucille just needs some act right, if you know what I mean. I know she probably do need to get her back blown out because she thought that was gonna be with the doctor. We gonna get to that later. But Nicole held it down with this whole thing with the cops. She was in there. She gave a fake relative, like an illegitimate person, even though she made her like she said, like my mom was out there. But you know what? I ain't mad at her for doing that. I'm not mad at her at all. She was quick on her feet with this one. Queens Nation in the building. Ew. She always hitting below the belt. I know. Lucille, good Lord, the way she blames Charles for wanting to do music like that. Why Nicole got like the F you on, girl. Wait, I can't even get it together what you saying. Plus Charles got the call about the tour cancel not even 2 seconds later, and then you find out the little girl get locked up. Exactly. I got what you saying now. Nasty Nicole always holds it down. That Michael Smith name gonna come back to her. Why? Why you think that? Well, I mean, it's not like she gave a fake name because she got arrested. They got her name. Michael Smith is just some person that could have been like, look, if anybody tell you who gave you the car, Michael gave you the car. It's going to come back anyway because Brian getting a whole warrant to go through that list. So them cars is going to come up. If the lady going to hold it down, I don't know. The way she was talking to him reminded me of Dead Presidents with Lorenz Tate. Yeah, yo. But that's different. She was like under the gun because like a baby coming. And she couldn't even work no more. So that part I get. You know what? You're gonna make me want to review Dead Presidents. Hope you come back and so we could talk about that one. All right? That's a classic. Nicole was getting real. We gonna get to that. I'm gonna star you too. I got 2 of them. Where's the first one I'll start? But we didn't get to it yet. But we will. Did you see how that? Let me go back to this before I go to the next one. Now, she seen that they looking at her brothers. Everybody know who her brothers is, but she's not gonna mention that, and I'm glad she didn't. But somebody already said in the chat that Michael Smith is gonna come back to haunt her. I forgot who said it, but I gotta put it down in my book. I'll go back and look at it later. But I'm gonna put it down because if it comes back, we gonna bring you up to tell you was on the money with it, okay? But did you see how that lady was checking her out? I'm like, what the heck? So now she gets that call right after the call came for the vocal cord situation with Charles, where he not gonna be going on tour. Now she calls Meech to tell him you ruining your sister's life, and you could, and she got arrested and all of this other stuff. I don't understand why would Meech do something this dumb. All of this money you got, where you could pay for a car, you could walk into a dealership and pay $4,000 or $5,000 cash for a car, and it wouldn't be no problems. A used vehicle for the first vehicle, just something for her to knock around in. This was so unnecessary. So unnecessary and a dumb move. Yeah, she is over dramatic and she is holier than thou this episode. But I got a special rant for her. I do, because I thought she was gonna be like different, but I don't like the way she's one person at home, and when she in that church, she got the halo on, and then she cracking the whip with her family at home. Now, do y'all think he's DEA? Because I do. I smell DEA on him with this whole suit and everything, and he's talking like he's really a good businessman, Terry. He don't know what he's talking about. Somebody put, when we did the first reaction, somebody was saying, I can't remember who. They were saying that B Mickey might take out Hoop. He better not. Hoop done went through enough with that Henrietta character. He's still recovering from, his little wounds, okay? Terry needs to worry about Detective Waters and Vince. Word. You know what I'm saying? He worried about the wrong things. Just that was a foreshadowing moment that Stroll gave in the beginning of this episode. You worry about the business, not the beef. And that's going to come back to haunt him because he worried about the beef more than the business, and he going to get caught slipping. Marquisha, she going to be a big part of Meech and Terry being at odds, because you already know she going to be whispering in Terry's ears, planting those seeds and sowing the mistrust between the two of them. You ain't never lie. And Hoop is a soldier. How you going to sit here and say, I ain't never fell asleep on a job? Really? You ain't fell asleep on a job, but you snitched. You was in a compromising position. How dare you say something to Hoop? Who are you? But Hoop told him, right? You got caught. I think this guy in the new is a sucker for love that Keisha gonna find as an. You know what? She gonna probably be underneath him, and she gonna be pitting Terry against this guy. That was a foreshadowing moment right there when he said, "Don't touch her." Why would you tell him that? Like, you like, just be like, my business partner or whatever the case may be. I don't understand why you said that, but I don't trust this dude. I think he DEA. That's my thoughts. I do think he DEA. Yo, I had to look. I couldn't get the whole thing, but I got some of it. But the code was in rare form. This was better than the dinner scene to me.
Let me get this straight. I spent the night in jail because Meech gave me a stolen car. But I'm in trouble for having sex? You getting real high and mighty, mama. Them fancy new church robes is getting to your head, in it. I'm an adult. And I don't need your permission to drive or have sex. And besides, when you were my age, you were on what, baby number 1 or 2? You can't tell me shit!
Go upstairs, Nicole!
Yeah, you can't go upstairs because I'm about to kill your ass!
She tell her to go upstairs because she about to double hockey sticks her. She about to KI double hockey sticks her. She was mad. But you know what? It looked like Lucille was ready to get down anyway because she had her sweats on. Did you notice that? I'm just saying. I had a mother like that. You come in late, she be ready to get it on with you. What? Now, I want to read your comment, Antoine. Nicole was getting real fly out of her mouth. If I was Lucy, I would have went back to the bail bondsman and took my name off that paperwork since she's so grown. I wouldn't have did all of that. But look, remember she got the fire slapped out of her before. I thought that was going to happen, but Charles saved her, told her to take her ass upstairs. Okay? But but she telling the truth though. Did you hear what he said after that though? He was like, you got more grace for the people outside than your own family. But she put Meech on a pedestal. She was already talking about taking the money, not to mention, Charles had to freaking give up his little instrument and hockey, and the guy was beating him in the head for it. He was beating him in the head for it. So he not only did he hock his instrument, he actually paid for the bail. She ain't do nothing because remember, soon as he hung up that phone, she got in his tail about you better go back to work and beg for your job and. So yeah, come on now. I don't know. I did not like Lucille this episode. She kind of pissed me off. She was doing too much. How you going to tell her you should be ashamed of yourself? You should be ashamed of yourself when you was last season in the car with the doctor getting finger popped. How you going to tell her something? Tell her you should be ashamed of yourself. I wish if she only knew. Everybody knows she was dating the doctor. She already, you should be ashamed of yourself. Okay? I'm just saying, am I wrong though? Am I right or wrong? You talking about your daughter, and you was all in there with Mr. Good Doctor, letting him go up your dress. Come on now. Lucille is no different than Markeisha, Only thing that she almost did it in that doctor's office. I wouldn't be surprised if they would have kept messing around and it would have been like somebody she messing with on the regular because she was finding every excuse to go to his doggone office. Her feet would have been right in them doggone stirrups and the doctor would have been getting it in. Especially if she thought she was going to get a marriage out of it. I'm just saying. Brian getting closer. Now, do you think he gonna come back with that warrant? And is what you think this lady gonna be doing? She already, I mean, she's standing on it and letting them know, like, you can't get this information without a warrant. And he is on Meech's heels. If he in this dealership and they look and Brian is out there parking his car, this is too close for comfort for me. And this is where they messed up with the story by showing us that ahead where they showed Brian alive. Cause we know it's what's gonna happen. I wish they would have never did that on flash forward. I really do. It's kind of like a spoiler. Okay, I already talked about this, but I was kind of like when he hocked this whole thing, he beat him in the head. I was mad at this dude too. He did Charles dirty. He just can't get he can't get a win. Now the Red Dogs and Detective Brian link up. I forgot what the big guy name was, but he seemed like he gonna be on the up and up. He already know that his partner Kane got some kind of complex. Yeah, he might be got one of them short guy complex where he mad because he's short, so he got to do big things. You know what I'm saying? A lot of short guys is like that. Not all of them, but some of them. They be angry little men. They be real angry. You be like, why you mad? You mad because you short? I'm short. Oh, I like the fact. I forgot. He called there and he asked, he had to get they had to get their story straight. But I'm glad she cursed Meech out. Because this was the dumbest thing that he did. Why would you give her a car where it's a chance that it could be hot? Even if it was like, all right, they changed it. I gotta hook up at the DMV, whatever the case may be. Why would you give your little sister that car and you got all of this money coming in? This was dumb. All right, so now he gonna let her run this whole thing. But he's still saying, you don't know what you're doing. But I think he gonna shadow her. And this is how they probably gonna get messed up because they probably gonna be talking on them phones a lot. And now he's putting on his uniform and he gonna be Brian, aka B Mickey's coworker, Charles. And it ain't nothing wrong with that. He gotta go back to work. He gotta make it happen. It happens. Sometimes you can't, sometimes you gotta put what you want to do in life, your passion, on the back burner because you got to make the donuts. Okay? It just happens. You could do them both. He gonna find his way. I'm sure Meech will make it up to Nicole, but he should have had everything in order. I agree. Meech could cop the hunt. That's what I'm saying. That's just what I said earlier, Antoine. I think it was before you came in. And not only that, he could have bought like he could have went to a used car lot and just spent a couple of thousand cash and bought that car for that girl. That's why I'm like, this was dumb. This was unnecessary. I don't trust Boom at all. Especially, this is what I think gonna happen, OG Purple. I don't trust Boom at all. I do think him and Terry and Marquisha gonna be messing around and word's gonna get back to him on the inside and he gonna throw a whole monkey wrench in Marquisha's little program. He was ready to snitch before he actually did kind of snitch on Terry before. So this is why I think this is a bad idea. Cause she running back and forth to that jail and he's pee-whipped. Who would you give the day late and dollar short award to, Lamar or Brian? I would give it to Bryant, because if you were spending time with your son and talking to him and, taking interest in his stuff, not waiting till he got locked up to take interest in his drawings and stuff like that, you would have knew your child. You threw your head into this case, and don't forget, Bryant was a dirty cop. He was working with these guys at one time. So, I feel like he is a day late and a dollar short. He gets the award, Bryant. Bryant gets it. Boom is going to get Markeisha to sell Terry out this time. Yeah, he going to get cut out. Something's going to happen, but he not going to get cut out until he gets separated totally from Meech. I think they gonna be the ones that run him out of Detroit. Between him and Lamar chasing him, this is how he gonna get ran out of Detroit. And now they gonna have to let me don't put on my track shoes, because I want to get to it when we get there, and I'm gonna give you the breakdown of what I think. Kiki could snitch on Markeisha and Terry's organization. Of course. Of course. Brian should have demanded he learn how to fight and spend more time with him. Exactly. He didn't do nothing with him. Detective Brian should have had his son in private school and lived in a better neighborhood. Problem solved. Yes, right. You don't eat. This is what they say when you mess around with people. You don't ish when you eat. And he shouldn't have had his kids. His kids was too close to all of this. But he was in the mix also. He should be lucky that his kid wasn't running with Meech and them being one of their little workers. Because that could have happened too. See, if B Mickey was real foul, that's what he could have did. He could have had Kevin working for him and doing stuff. And just because he wanted friends, they would have kept him quiet. I'm just saying. This was the dumbest stakeout and the dumbest thing, and this is all Kang's fault. This is all this dude's fault. He did some bozo nonsense. He wanted to be in charge, and he got pow by his own crew. Or do you think that was done intentionally? Did you see how them two looked at each other when that was done? It seemed like nobody liked this dude. But I don't know. The way this went down, I thought it was cool. This is gonna bring Bryant closer to I can't think of this guy's name, but to the big guy. He's gonna get closer to him. DeMarcus, if you know his name, let me know. But I think it is gonna bring him closer, because now they have the enemy they're gonna go after this person, right? And they're gonna avenge Kang, even though he really don't care for him like that. But it is what it is. He got pow by his old man. By the other, it was friendly fire. Hardy, thank you. She lost someone at 18. And so, yeah. Are you talking about Nicole? She's still bringing that boy up. And somebody did put in the chat, I want to say it was OG, it might have been OG, or that they was thinking that they was gonna get Lamar was gonna come when Nicole was in the car with Breeze, because that's who that was. Okay. But this was cool that Meech had spoke to Loco and they didn't send the product. Nothing came on the plane, but now Loco lost 2 men's. I want to know how the supervision is gonna say this about Red Doors, because now you went off of a hunch and you wasn't even sure on it, And King ran the whole thing wrong. So who they gonna penalize for this? Are they gonna say it got messed up because an outsider came in, meaning Detective Bryant, or what? I want to see what's gonna be the repercussions with this, because it might not go well now. Because if one of them since Detective Bryant is rogue, they could easily blame it on him. However, he ain't had no gun. We need to watch out for the female Red Dog Turner. Yeah, but did y'all see how the other two looked when Kane got powed in the neck? I'm just saying, this seemed like this might have been done. Maybe I don't know. It just seemed like something didn't seem right with it. I can't lie. I wanted to see Loco put that big savage beat on Terry. I thought that was gonna happen too. But Terry, I think the more we see with this, because it's like they going doing the flashbacks and we getting a little bit at a time. I don't think it was only that. I think that whole thing was crazy and Terry was traumatized because of it. He ain't used to doing nothing like that. That's my thoughts. So, did you scroll up to the top and cast your vote? Can Terry trust B. Mickey? I don't trust him yet. I know he needs money, and we might have to worry about the other detective pushing up on him, especially if Detective Bryant go back and tell him to lean on him. That's why I really don't think he should do anything with him. But I think what's gonna happen is if they stay back and forth, him and Hoop, and he knows he needs he gave him money, but he didn't take it because he said he wanted to earn it. I still don't trust him. You mean to tell me you was that desperate? Young woman at home telling you, baby, we need money for the medicine for the baby. We not doing good. And this guy offers you money, but because you want to get back on, you going to decline the offer? But you taking money from the church? I don't know. I guess he really trying to stay honest, Abe. I'll chalk it up to that. What's y'all thoughts? He did earn it. He saved their lives. That would have been a perfect comeback for Terry to say and be on his way. I don't know why they didn't think to write that. Brian should definitely take the money for his daughter. Yeah, I didn't understand why that happened. The fact Lucille still expects Charles to pay all the bills is wild to me. You know what I'm saying? He could barely afford an apartment. That's why he's staying in the boy's room. Why am I going to leave the house that I put together and you thought you was going off with the good doctor? She did. She thought she was going off with the good doctor, dating and all of that. It's just, she just pissed me off this episode. Terry probably hasn't forgot Big B Mickey pulled a Roscoe on him in season 2. Yeah, I know, but that's why I don't think he gonna trust him. You think he can? Okay. B Mickey's daughter had an oxygen tank at the playground with her. But you know what? Exactly. That's the part I didn't understand. And why, if this baby got an oxygen tank, why is she playing in the sandbox? And y'all know she got problems with her lungs. What the heck? Get that baby out of that sandbox. I get pride, but he should have took that breath for his sick daughter. That's word, for real. Honestly, the situation B Mickey was in, I don't feel like he necessarily snitched. B Mickey was in a lose-lose situation either way. Yeah, he was in a lose-lose situation. Either way, he was gonna look like a snitch. But what he should have did was take the time. He didn't want to take the time. He didn't want to go to go to jail, and that's why they was in that predicament where they had to go try to get that pow out that safe. But unfortunately, that didn't work, and then look what happened to little Kevin. But that's all Detective Brian's fault, though. But he blaming Meech and Terry and them. Her saying his dreams were petty dreams, and it was his fault for Nicole getting arrested was wild. It beats that y'all get respect when you earn it from me. She was just all out rude, and to me, you should have had all of that energy for your son. It's like, and I felt like Nicole was right about that. Yo, this dude gave me a stolen car. You know what the stuff he doing. And he get me jammed up in a situation, and you want to talk about me. You know, I know what you was doing in that car. Well, I know what you was doing in that car too with the good doctor. That's what she should have said. But Lucille probably would have smacked fire out of her. For real, for real. I'm just saying. It's hilarious that y'all feel a certain way about Terry and B Mickey like they the ops. I don't feel like they ops. I feel like you gotta be careful with him, because if he get in a situation, look at how close he did get to snitching. But maybe sometimes you could give somebody a pass, but I feel like maybe he gotta prove his worth, prove his point. But I felt like, do you think he proved his that he could be trusted by getting that Lamar for them? Because if he wasn't there, they would have been gone. Brian should take the blame for his own actions and stop blaming Meech and Terry for everything. For real. I just with this I want to see how they following him already, right? You already had Hoop following him. Hoop said he just going to work and coming home. So you don't see him reporting to anybody. I think if they follow him around a little longer, they're gonna end up putting him on. I do think that. This is the beginning of the division with them. Now you got him taking pills with this girl. They trying to get into the music business. What did y'all think about that guy that was giving his artists all of that cheap champagne and stuff? Do you think that's going to be a problem if I think they're going to try to take that artist from that dude, and it's going to cause some beef. That's what I think. I will put him back on for the simple fact he's in a similar situation as he was the first time with his sick mother. He has too many pressure points. That's a liability. Yeah. That's why I don't think he should get back on either, because look at how he was with his mother. Remember, they moved her to one of these places, and then once he wasn't cooperating, he was going to put her back in that cheap facility where she wasn't getting the care that she needed. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a problem. But overall, what did y'all give this episode? I thought this episode was actually better than the first one. I thought it was much better than the first one. I like the fact that Meech is a couple of steps ahead of Bryant, but this is gonna piss Bryant off even more. You got this other one he's working back home with, so he gonna jam them up where they messed up all the way around. What did y'all think of the whole thing where them sending the everything, the shipment to Jay Pusher, but now you done put it where he gonna start communicating with these people more, and he think he gonna 86 him out of it. Do y'all think that's the reason why they gonna send? Because doesn't Terry end up being this? No, he ends up going to California. I think he gonna go to the West Coast, and they gonna run him out of Detroit though. I really do. with Terry. I give it an 8 too. All right, so I'm gonna close out this poll, and this is the poll question: can Terry trust B Mickey? Can Terry trust B Mickey? And I want to see what happens with this. I want to see if I'm gonna close out this poll. Okay. Thanks, guys, for voting. Yeah, we got pretty much everybody that was in the chat voted, and y'all saying he could trust him. 69% says yes. So y'all saying he could trust B Mickey. He is gonna get back on. I want to see how this plays out. Overall, I did like this episode much better than the first one. Much better than the first one. And we see that they building this case. Now, I think they're both responsible for their downfall. Keep in mind, I am going to be doing the documentary. I'm going to be reviewing the BMF documentary because they supposed to be having the Terry's interview, so it hasn't dropped yet. But when it drops, I'm going to be doing that. It's gonna probably be with Pretty Girl and some other people on the panel. So we're gonna be talking about that. Tell Purdy Producers is giving P. Diddy vibes. Really? You know what? I will wanted to say that. I believe they are gonna do it, but they didn't want to use P. Diddy likeness. That's why they picked the light skinned dude. Look, Wu-Tang actually had Christian on there playing his father. So are they gonna do the whole Wolf situation? What y'all think? All the Queen's Men's is coming back next month. Yes, and I am gonna be on. I'm gonna be with the ladies of Eden that night. You know, while the Club Eden. We all gonna be doing Club Eden. I'm gonna do some reviews, but I ain't gonna be doing all these screenshots. I'm gonna get on, talk about the episode, say what I gotta say, what I liked, what I didn't like, and keep it pushing. However, I will be doing the Shy a little bit later, probably tomorrow. You know, we doing BMF tomorrow with the ladies, and we're gonna do the Shy on Monday. So keep y'all notifications on, and holla at your girl. But I am gonna do the Shy by myself just to get my opinions off, make my predictions and all of that stuff. But what I was gonna say with this, you think Jay Pusher is gonna backdoor Meech, and that's gonna be the end of they business partnership? I want to know. I don't think he's gonna do it. I don't think it comes out rude, but I think this is gonna bring Meech and Terry back briefly, but then they gonna have like a division problem again because of that child Markeisha. I think she's gonna be the cause of their division as always. All right. So y'all got me thinking, since we talked a little bit about dead presidents tonight, I might come back and do that, and I'm gonna put up a poll and see what's good. Maybe I'll get the ladies on with us. We supposed to be doing our throwbacks and stuff like that, so we trying to get on track with everything, but you know it's summertime. So keep y'all notifications on. And I want to thank everybody for coming through. Thank you, RC, Young Boy. You said Jay Pusha a snake? Yeah. Yo, I want to see how this is gonna play out. I do want to see how this plays out. You said Jay Pusha a snake. I think Jay Pusha about to start a war. Purdy character is Blue Da Vinci. Really? I gotta see more. I don't know for sure. You know better than me. I'm just, after Meech defended him against Terry, I know he gonna backdoor him, and then Terry gonna be like, "I told you so." if it happened. Jay Pusha is saying, I'm just doing what Meech would do. Is BS because Meech never did like that. K9 the plug before, that's how he got to the top, by taking orders. Exactly. K9 liked him. But you know, K9 got jammed up in the situation. He didn't even tell on him like that though. Terry would be pissed that Jay Pusha is getting loco shipment in St. Louis. Yeah, he gonna be pissed because now he gotta go to him and ask for the product, He gonna be like, why you ain't just send it to the D? You know he couldn't send it to the D because you got people sniffing around you too, brother. Yeah, he is gonna be pissed. That's all I got going on. I'ma get ready to get up out of here. Make sure if you are not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. I'm trying to get enough subscribers so I could go live on TikTok. So please go over there and subscribe to my page over there. And I'm trying to build my audience over there too. So, yeah. I want to see what happened. Let me write this down. You saying you think Jay Pusha gonna start a war? DeMarcus, do you think that's what's gonna happen? So Jay Pusha start war. I didn't know they had beef like that. But you know what? I think he just said, well, if he's sending it here, he got heat on him. So he's trying to distance himself. I don't think he's trying to start a war. I think he's trying to be like, look, if you hot, I ain't trying to get hot. You dig what I'm saying? So maybe it's just that where like, yo, I see you got, if you had to send the whole shipment here and you got heat on you, let me distance myself from you so things can move freely. So if he do link up with Loco, then that's gonna cut Meech out. So that I don't think it is backdooring him, but he is trying to protect himself. You get it? At the same time. Yeah, they are gonna have issues. They are gonna have issues because he can cut him out of the deal. And we see what's going on now. But keep in mind, I am going to be doing the Blowing Money Fast, the second season of that. It hasn't dropped yet. They just doing the coming attractions of it that is coming. All right. So I want to thank y'all for coming out. I'm going to get ready to get up out of here. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all subscribe to all of my socials. And I'm out of here, y'all. Later.
Put me up in that algorithm and holla at your girl.